Mm. Hello again, and welcome to another Voices of Gaia Oracle. I'm Awen Tejagreiner, your oracle for today for the Voices of Gaia. Now, I wanted to say something about the Voices of Gaia work. Maybe you're familiar with it, maybe you're not. If you're here, you're probably a very select group of people who has an interest in being a channel. I channel Renew Earth leadership. And so, whether this is something new to you, maybe somebody shared this with you, or maybe you just kind of stumbled across it, or whatever it is, but this is really part of a larger body of work. And it's called the Voices of Gaia Project. And so, you can go to voicesofgaiaproject.com and you can learn a little bit more about the bigger picture of this body of work. Um, and it's all about empowering our voices as sacred leaders of New Earth consciousness, leading from the heart. And so the archetypal work that's part of this is one component of this. It is to help you to navigate through the dilemmas and the polarities, the dualities, the shadow work of embodying your sacred channel, your oracular channel, and becoming a voice of Gaia. So there are two aspects of the Voices of Gaia work, right? There's one where, and this is the one that I'm working on right now with people, is you becoming your own channel, right? Everybody is, but a lot of people will never attempt to clarify their channel and to really begin to transmit their authentic soul frequency, their authentic voice, um, fully embodied in harmony with Earth. And so that's the focus of the archetypal work. And there's a deeper part for the Voices of Gaia project that's starting to emerge. And it's just give you a little sneak peek about it or a few words on it, but it is about actually channeling the voices of Gaia. So not just your human voice as a voice of Gaia, because we are one of the voices, right? We are on the planet, but it's more about channeling messages from the earth, from Gaia, from the creatures, from the plants and the crystals and the rocks and the elementals, land transmissions, right? That's going to be part of the Voices of Gaia project. And not everybody will do that kind of work, but if that's something that pings a little bit of something there, stay tuned because it's really going to start to develop as this year progresses. It's starting to deepen within my own channel these new ways of sharing messages from Gaia. And of course, everybody's channel will have a certain quality and layeredness to it and frequency of sharing these messages. And that's the beauty of it, right? So if I do a land transmission, it's going to come through my channel in a certain frequency that will be appropriate for those people that need to be, receiving that. And likewise, somebody else was to do it, it would reach a different spectrum. There might be some overlap, but then there's that synergy and that magnification. And what the Voices of Gaia project is about is cultivating deeper connection and intimacy and communion to facilitate peace and joy and a harmonious way of life rather than one of fear. So, having said that little spiel here, I want to dive into the miracle worker archetype today. I'm going to be sharing about the gift of boundlessness, which is one of the gifts of the miracle worker. And so this is the third archetype in the spiral. And it's one of the foundational archetypes. And I like to think of this one, and like the way that I like to talk about it sometimes is it's like acupuncture needle. And so as a miracle worker, you are given like a certain map and you know where you need to go to put your needle in your channel. Okay. And so this gift um, of boundlessness is a quality of the miracle worker that encourages you to go to those places that call to your heart. You know, it's adventures of the heart. That's the gift. The city is boundlessness, but it's really about going to those places that call to your heart, and then you can bring in this beautiful infusion of joy um, to that by placing your channel there. And so it is a Gemini sign, so it is a lot about communication. But it's also um, wormholes, a portal for miracles. So you can quantum leap through this particular portal into a new timeline. And it is in the Ring of Miracles, as I said, it's Wormholes and Miracles. It's the only gene key, which is what gene key 35 is, boundlessness, one of the gifts of the miracle worker. And it's the only one in the Ring of Miracles, the codon ring of miracles. And I'm not going to go into what the codon rings mean, except that they're groups of gene keys that harmonize together to create shifts. So you don't need anything else but this one to work in the Ring of Miracles. And so it's a miracle worker, right? That's pretty clear. It would be one of the gifts of the miracle worker. And if you see on this card, there's a beautiful rainbow and a hummingbird, and there's definite some alterations, the genetic material, all the way down to clearing out from conceptional wounding energies when you were conceived, and while in the womb of your mother as well as you were gestating. And you also see a woman there. It looks like she's getting ready to go out into nature on a journey, right? So it is a sacred journey, and it is about a journey into nature and going to those places on the earth that need you most right now. And what can happen though in the shadow of this gift um, is hunger. And so think about hunger. It's like you just want more of life, right? You really you want more, but it's not coming from a place of clarity. And so it kind of, it's like this bright flame, and it can either like just be so instantaneous and just burn out immediately. Like, have you ever seen those fireworks that you light them and they just don't do anything? They're done, right? And then it's this sense of boredom, just being bored, dull, a dud, and then just not following the adventures of your heart, right? Because what you were following really was nothing. It was a dud. And so then this deep, heavy boredom or just sense of heaviness, inertia, um, sets in, and the boredom can it's like that freeze mode, right? It's a trauma response. And so it like leaves you stuck in the old timeline. Whereas on the other side of the trauma response of being reactive is this manic. So it's like this flame, this spark, right? And it's just like out of control. So maybe it's one of those fireworks that, kind of goes berserk and like, what are those, the Roman candles that you shoot off, or I don't know which ones, but they just like go crazy and then they're just done, right? The dud, it doesn't even start. It just like smokes and you're like, oh, that was a waste of money, right? And then, this other one, it kind of is just really short-lived. It's not one of those nice, long, beautiful, showering fireworks or the beautiful ones that expand out in the sky, and it's just where it's more of a show. And so, yeah, the manic one is just like it's just this really short-lived um, experience, and it doesn't bring you joy. It doesn't bring joy to your heart. And so, when you can sit in that shadow work and feel when you're like wanting to go somewhere, do have some experience, can you really feel into it? Is it connected to your heart? Because it's the adventures of the heart that will bring the joy, that will bring the deep soul level joy. And those are the adventures you want to go on as a miracle worker. And those are the adventures you want to help people to align with and to experience. And so as a miracle worker, you bring this beautiful gift to people and you set it into the grid wherever you go. And so the likelihood of people experiencing that in those places that you have gone and put your channel increase, multiply. And the more of us that are doing that in regions, the more likely people will begin to follow the adventures of their heart. And that opens you up to this, acidic level, this miracle level of just boundless joy, boundlessness. And the experiences that you have are very healing for the planet. They help to calm the turbulence in the field, the emotional turbulence that runs through the field when people are not in alignment with their joy. And it also helps to calm the impatience, because people want the quick fix. They want the status, to be satisfied immediately. They're not ready to go for that beautiful firework, that nice long burn, or, really cascading set of many fireworks in the sky, right? If you go to a fireworks show and it just goes on and on and on and on, right? Like that takes some time to set up, right? It takes some planning, some patience. And if you ever want to experience boundlessness, you're going to have to enter into the field of timelessness, which means you have to let go of your timelines and to just settle in to following that frequency of joy in your heart and trusting that no matter how long it takes you to get there, that when you get there, the experience that you have is timeless and it will always be with you. It's that long, long, long burn. It's always nourishing and feeding you more joy from it. And so that is what the gift of this is about. And it is all about, it's in the throat. And so it is about sharing your messages of joyful living with others. When you have aligned yourself to follow your heart, you can open up your throat to speak about those experiences and to help others to experience that through your stories and through the vibration, the quality, and the joyfulness that comes through your voice. And so this is really where humanity is going in the new earth, is into these experiences of joy, of boundless joy. And I'm not going to speak any more about that right now, but just take some time to open up this wormhole for yourself and drop into your heart. So let's just drop into our heart together and receive a little bit of light language to open up this portal of miracles for you to truly begin to follow the adventures of your heart into the boundlessness of joy, joyful living. Yelashi ur arahai liti oka. Shoshono hale ni a nehene ne o nta ala e tu. Ya hale e I ala ash nka ala ai. Sho ya la eniele ete a atu ush nta a ete. Yoho u a n a la a o tika ala shnuna. Shi e ela u pa chola. Kike ale at stu ushta le hande. And so, really, what was coming through for there was the joy of the land when you appreciate her. And so, opening up yourself to listen, really listen to the land, and you will be guided on these grids of earth to those places that are most in harmony with you, with your channel, or those places that need you to help reestablish the grid work where it has been damaged by the turbulence in the field. And that's what wanted to be shared today. So thank you for listening and tuning in. May your day be joyful. Much love.